good morning. I'm Nicholas Garver. I'm the Conservation Program Manager at Native Seed Search. We are a 35-year-old seed bank here in Tucson, Arizona that stewards the seeds of the indigenous people of the greater Southwest. A lot of the work that we're doing is really to support our stakeholders in the communities that these seeds came from to get them growing again so that the communities can be sharing these foods again at their dinner tables. While I was touring Navajo, I saw a lot of people growing in lasagna beds behind their houses and was shocked at the productivity that I saw there. So the plants in this collection are really adapted to environments like that with really deep, nutritious soils. And I thought it would make a lot of sense for us to explore that technique here in Tucson, just because composting here can be really difficult. You have to keep it wet all the time, and that's a challenge for a large part of the year. But on a lasagna bed, what you're basically doing is layering the ingredients of compost and keeping it in the ground. So we'll take you along as we build a lasagna bed here at our conservation center. So we're starting with cardboard, but was there anything that we need to know about what cardboard to use, or any way to prepare our cardboard?
Yes, and you'll want to be sure to take off any tape, any plastic that's on it. Otherwise, it's fine. The markings on it's fine. You just want to be sure to overlap the cardboard to make sure it holds the moisture in well. You want to line the bottom and line the tops, or the sides of the pit, so it holds the moisture in. So let's get started.
Okay. So does it help to have it in smaller shapes, or?
Yes. You can see where we have a bit of a gap there on that one. We have to overlap. It's good coverage.
Okay, now that we have the water storing, insulating layer of cardboard, and we're looking at it to make sure that there's no cardboard sticking up out of the ground.
Correct.
What's the point there? Why are we worried about that?
So as the cardboard, if it's sticking up above the soil level, it'll wick moisture out of your garden up into the air. So you want to be sure either trim it down now or trim it down later so it doesn't stick up above the soil.
Okay, but then the next layer is
Our logs and sticks.
So these are the big diameter trimmings that we're going to put all the way down on the bottom. And why are we using such big material at the bottom?
So what happens with the logs and the larger sticks is that as they break down and decompose, they store moisture, they provide aeration, they'll provide nutrients way down the road as the bed matures and composts. It'll provide nutrition and nutrients to the plants later on.
Okay, well, let's get these bad boys in there.
Okay, all right. Let's go with the bigger ones first.
Okay, the big Not dainty little sticks. So now that we've run out of our larger logs, and I think we have a pretty good layer. Maybe we could have had a bigger layer, but we're going to work with what we've got. So now that we have the big logs in place, we're going to go to skinny stuff, yeah?
Yes, so the smaller twigs, like the logs, will break down over time. The purpose of the smaller stuff is to kind of work its way down. We can work its way around the larger logs and branches that are down there and sort of fill in, and they will just build up the various layers with with the finer materials as we go on up. So this will be the next layer up. That's a little bit finer than the logs.
But these twigs will still really help us keep air spaces deep in the soil.
That's correct.
And that'll keep the decomposition going at a quick rate and making all of the sort of organic acids that the plants really respond to.
Very good. All right, let's do it.
So is there a trick? Do you want to keep it like uniform?
Well, it doesn't have to be. I tend to do that. I'll get down in there and kind of arrange the material.
Okay, Jack, we have stomped down about, what would you say, 8 inches
About
of...
8 inches of
How much?
About 8 to 10 inches of sticks and brush and logs. So that's the bottom layer of this.
Okay, cardboard in to hold the moisture, layers of logs and sticks to break down and keep the lowest level aerated. But then what's our next layer?
This needs to be watered in now, so we need to get it good and down.
Okay. Ah! Okay, our sticks and logs and cardboard and workers are all dampened. And now we need to move on to a layer, I guess, that's really about providing nutrition to the plants, right?
Right.
So what's our next step?
So we're going to put, the next layer is going to be the sorghum leaves and stems that we've collected from our sorghum plots. And we'll lay down a layer 3 or 4 inches thick on top of the sticks and branches that we have down in the pit. And that will provide, this is going to provide more of the, a little bit more of the nitrogen nutrients that we need. This will filter down in amongst the stems and branches, kind of fill in those voids, and we'll just build up with that, and that'll be our next layer.
So I love sorghum, and I love growing sorghum for what it does to the soil, but some of the people watching this video might not have great big bales of sorghum trash to use. What other plant material would you suggest?
There are just anything you have laying around. It could be tree leaves, lawn clippings, kitchen waste.
This is a good layer for compost?
Yes.
Or uncomposted compost, pre-composted compost.
Correct. If you have compost laying around, that would be a good layer. Gosh, there's just any number of things that could be used. But mostly this layer is going to be the more brown layer that's going to go in, and then we'll go up from there with more nitrogen nutrients.
Okay. So same practice, we're just going to get it layered?
Yes.
Okay, Jack, the next layer is...
Manure.
Okay, give us the scoop on poop.
Okay, so this is well-rotted horse manure. You can use any kind of manure, chicken manure, cow manure, horse manure. This happened to be available, and it's pretty well-rotted. One problem that you can experience with horse manure is it tends to have more weed seeds than cow manure or chicken manure or any other manure for that matter. But this being more well-rotted and being down in the hole, it'll be covered up well enough that anything that should sprout will not be a problem. So we'll put a layer in. This of course is going to be more of our nitrogen source for the brown layers that are below. So we'll put in a 2 to 3 inch layer of manure and wet that down. So that'll be next.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to put something back in the hole that we took out of the hole initially.
Dirt. We'll be putting The next layer is going to be soil. It's going to be the mineral soil, the mineral component of the lasagna bed. So this will provide some more of the mineral nutrition that's needed. It'll provide a little bit of a seal also to help hold moisture in, and a place for substrate for the roots of the plants to grow down into. So we'll put a 2 to 3 inch, or maybe about a 2-inch layer of soil on top of this. This will be the next layer.
Okay, Jack, what's the next layer?
Well, so far we have the logs, a layer of logs, the layer of twigs, then sorghum, manure, and soil. So we're going to add the next layer, which will be more sorghum, and then we'll just carry that on until we get to the top. So it'll be sorghum, manure, soil, and just continue those layers until we get to the top of the pit. So let's go ahead and get the sorghum.
Okay. Okay, Jack, I think we're done the lasagna bed.
Looks good.
Good. So this wasn't easy. This took a bit of time and some work. So why would somebody want to do this at home? Why not just make a raised bed or dig right into the ground?
Well, the main reason for putting this underground is for water conservation. The water will stay down in the pit longer than it would with a raised bed or an above ground lasagna bed. So this should be a good way to garden in the desert.
Okay. Well, we hope it works. We're gonna plant barley in this bed, so check back in a few weeks, and we'll give you an update as to how it's growing and if our lasagna bed is holding water. Feel free to comment, tell us what you want to see, and share this video. And thank you for watching.
Happy gardening!